Good afternoon or evening, depending on what side of the pond you're on, and welcome to an extra special edition of Across the Pitch. My name is Phil Kennedy, and today we have Ajaasuma from the Ghana Hammers Supporters Club, who is an administrator. You can find him on Twitter under Lil Modulo, which is Lilmodlo. He'll be out there posting everything about West Ham. We're excited to have him on the show today as he is a massive fan of the Hammers and a listener to our podcast. And today we're going to talk to him everything about how he got supporting West Ham all the way from Ghana. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Phil. I've been looking forward to this podcast.
Yes, we've been talking for a while and trying to get this set up, and we've finally been able to get together and talk here. So the first question I wanted you to tell our listeners is, how did you first start supporting West Ham from Ghana?
Okay, thank you, Phil, and thank you to all our listeners around the world. I am Abdul, a West Ham United fan from Ghana, as been introduced earlier. I think I wasn't a full-time West Ham fan, but I was a bit like a sympathizer during the early 2000s. I was somehow supporting Manchester United, but there were some key players' interest that I was having. Somebody like the Lampard, the Nko, the Joe Cole, Ferdinand, Di Canio, a lot of stuff. So I became interested to see if I would leave my Man U, okay, I was supporting it because of Alex Ferguson. But the trend in which West Ham has produced excellent players for the Premier League, I say, okay, I'm going to shift my side toward the London teams. So I chose West Ham. And from somewhere 2009-10 season, I started supporting West Ham. But with the influence of social media, I joined Twitter on 2014 thereabout, so I was able to get a lot of West Ham friends, and then through there, I've been a West Ham fan till now.
So for about 10 years now, you've been supporting West Ham. And so is West Ham one of the more popular Premier League teams in Ghana? Do you have a large fan base down there?
Actually, West Ham isn't that popular here. But we are looking at dedicated fans, because when I started supporting West Ham, I never knew I was having few colleagues that were West Ham fans. But when I started my tweets on Twitter, I began to have friends that were West Ham fans, and I never knew. Let me stress forward the former UK ambassador, or we call it High Commissioner to Ghana, who happens to be John Benjamin. He was a massive West Ham fan. I never know. So he saw my tweet, and then he contacted me, and then we were now tweeting about West Ham here and there. It was more like a teasing. The Chelsea, the Man U, the Liverpool, and the Arsenal were much all over the places. So when they see West Ham, it's like, we're from this, we're from that. So we started it, and then God being willing, we had other people that were West Ham fans, and we never knew. But we I guess we are not up to 20, but I can tell you our voice is more than thousands, because I can assure you that if you look at my profile, you can see that I've been all over radio, TV, wherever that is fans that are supposed to talk about their respective clubs. I've been around. So and then I've been known for a while now, and then things have started growing. So, and then we established the relationship between we and then the High Commissioner, who was then, but right now he's no more the High Commissioner. So we established a relationship with him, and things work out. I think we are doing good.
Yes, I'm looking on Twitter, and your account is at GH Hammers. So I definitely recommend that everybody should follow that. And right now you have 1,347 followers. So you have almost 1,350 followers there. And to me, that's one of the favorite things for me about supporting a team that that's not Manchester United, if you will, is, it's easy to find friends that support Manchester United because there's Manchester United followers everywhere. But when you start supporting a team that's a little bit different, and you start meeting people that are a fan of that team, then it's a lot easier to kind of build a community with those people because you share that like support of that team that's not Manchester United or Liverpool or one of the big teams.
That is it. Let me tell you a scenario. I think our fan base started increasing more. If you look at our Twitter page, you could realize that we were officially on Twitter on 2007 season, but like we were around. But 2007, we officially launched our Twitter page with our Instagram page and then our Facebook page. But like we started accumulating fans and then love through. If we look at 2008, 2009 season, the general transfer, there was a little bit of problem there because at that time, Andre Ayew was trying to move out to Swansea, and then Diafara Sakho was also on his way to Rennes. So, and then like the club wasn't in support of that because at that time we needed them to finish the season. That was the general transfer, so we wanted to finish the season. But at that time, in the middle of the night, like we have when the countdown, when the season is finished, like when the transfer window is finishing, players are like the 31st of January, so players wanted to move. So Andre Ayew wasn't like you don't want to play the club anymore, and then Diafara Sakho too wanted to move. So and then our club director of recruitment, who happens to be Mr. Tony Henry, made a certain racism comments. He said on let me say, he said West Ham will not be recruiting black players from Africa because they cause mayhems. I was not in support of that, so I contacted one of our friends who happens to have a YouTube channel. So they gave us the chance to address the issues on how West Ham has been one of the club that has, admittedly produced more of these are black and African players. So I've listed a numerous of them. Through there, I had more views. People were liking it, and then I think by the close of the day, Mr. Tony Henry got sacked, and then our fan base increased. But through interaction, we are getting there, and then things are normal. We are now feel home than ever.
So when you guys are watching the games, do you have a regular meeting place where you watch the West Ham games at? I mean, of course, right now all the games are suspended, but when football is being played, do you guys have a regular meeting place where you watch the games at every week?
Okay. Our first game we worked together was at the High Commissioner resident because he invited us to come, and then we have a chat on how our support base is and then how things are moving. So when and then I think that season it didn't go well because we were facing Liverpool at that weekend. That was one Saturday. That was to the 2017 season. Then they scored us 5-0. It was embarrassing though, but we had a good time as fans. Then through the few of us, sometimes we meet, watch games together, and then we interact. But I think we are having a loud mouth. If you look at how the other fan base are, they aren't doing anything different more than what we are doing. So, but like we don't usually meet a lot, but we watch the games as sometime it goes, maybe in your respective homes. And Ghana here, sometimes you can meet at a betting center where they watch matches, or pop bars where we watch matches with different kind of fans. But sometimes you could see only one West Ham fan, but it's very loud, and then you can disturb. Sometimes they see like, oh, how can 10 or 5 people that are Man U, and then you just one person that is here. But since they began to accept us, things are moving, quite good. And then we think we're having one of the best fun and then dedicated base in Ghana.
Yeah, it's sometimes, like you said, it doesn't matter if you have, 5 fans there or 50 fans there. It's how much fun you have and how much noise you make. And now, kind of looking at West Ham. West Ham is one of those teams where they're not necessarily expected to finish in the top 6 year to year, but they are expected to finish, at least maybe in the top 10. Right now, they're sitting 16th in the table as things stand. So it's been a difficult year. Do you think that if the season finishes out, that they're looking to finish strong and move up the table? What was your outlook on the season before it stopped?
Yeah, the season before I was having much hope in Pellegrini. Everyone know who Pellegrini is in the Premier League. One of the best managers who came to the Premier League and had it not on the silver spoon, but had it good with good players. So when I heard he was being appointed, I wasn't surprised because I was looking at the experience side, kind of players that will look at him and then come to the club. And then if you look at things, they brought so many players that we think we could have, as you said, from the first to the 10th position, we could have been in one of, not like the top 5, but maybe the top 7 or the top 8. Or probably when we go further, we can go to the top 5. And if you look at the season didn't start bad. With our few matches that we played like the first 5 matches. We didn't have a defeat. We had only one draw, I think. And then we were in the top 3. And then things that went bad was when we had Fabianski injured. And Andre has already left because when Fabianski was there, he was a second choice. From the first choice to being second choice, he wasn't patient and then he has to leave. Then he went to Liverpool. So we're now relying on Fabianski. Fabianski was very good from the first 5 matches. Then when he got his injuries are like we have to employ Roberto. Then Roberto came. At least Roberto kept I think more than a month, and then things were bad because the kind of goals that we were considering more goals from him. We have to go and bring Martins. Martins took him. He had some 2 clean sheets, and then he had another mistakes, and things were just different from them before Fabianski came back. I think all in all, and then we went and bought players that we thought could have helped us. Haller, we all know what he did in Germany with Eintracht Frankfurt. Fornals, we all know what he did in Spain. You see, we brought players that we thought things would have been much, much, much easier for us. But the season didn't go well. But this is not the first time the season is not going well. If you look at this, liken it to the last season, it was the same thing that Televen Bellic was going through, and then Moyes came to the rescue. Moyes have to come at least to do some other things, and then things have to go well, and then we escape relegation. Looking at the table, it's not good for us because 27 points, and then Watford is also 27 points. The only team that we are now looking ahead is Brighton, who is having 29 points. They are 15. If we can pass Brighton, we can, have a standing table that we know we're having some matches to defend, to win, and then to draw, and then that kind of thing. But if you look at the table, we are doing very bad, and I think this is the time Moyes can also prove that he has done it before, and if he do it again, we'll be walking through. Next season again in the Premier League rather than relegation.
Yeah, when I look at the table, the number that really kind of sticks out to me is the 50 goals allowed, which is one of the worst numbers in the league. And to me, I see that they scored 35 goals, which is not a lot, but it's enough to win games. But when you look at 29 matches played, 50 goals allowed, that means that they're allowing 2 goals nearly every match, and it's really hard to win it all when you're shipping 2 goals every game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If we look at the narratives, what I narrated, Roberto was, if you look at all these goals, we're conceding more when Fabianski went on injury. And Roberto has experience as he is from Spain that we went and brought him. I was thinking like he could have, step up to, expectation. but things were very bad. We have to go back and then bring another keeper. So when we brought keeper again, then Martins, first match, clean sheet, second match, he done well, then things went bad again. If you remember, there was a time we wanted to bring our Premier League 2 keeper who happened to be a Ghanaian, Joseph Annan. He's doing very well because actually right now, West Ham is Premier League 2. We are leading the table with a very good young players. One just promoted to the senior side now. I think everyone know him. He's a right back, Jeremy Ngakia. So these were players that we were thinking like Pellegrini would have given chance so that if things are going bad, but they'll taste the Premier League small. And then when things are going bad, you can see them, stepping forward. If you look at Liverpool, everyone knows it. The left back and the right back. Robertson and then Robertson didn't just, what will I say? Robertson didn't just started the Premier League with anything. He just started with Liverpool. And things are moving well. These are young players that are doing very well. So if you look at Arnold and him, they are most like they were in the Premier League before. Meanwhile, they were not in the Premier League. They got nurtured through the substitutes and then that kind of stuff. And things are like West Ham. We are relying on everyday Hala, everyday Fornas, everyday Lanzini. Then we know Lanzini too now is injury prone. But we have some of these youth players that are good in the Premier League too. If you look at Nathan Holland, who is now with Oxford United, they are very good players that we could have. Let them taste the Premier League. But as of now, we are just praying to rescue ourselves from this hell, and then maybe next season we can restructure with Moyes and then see how things work.
Yeah, I think that in the Premier League, like you said, that any time you're not one of the big six teams, it's really a matter of how the signings work out from year to year, how the players adapt to the coaching style, and then every year it's kind of you have an opportunity to have a good season here and there. And then you're going to have some down years like what you're having this year. And the most important thing is that, like you said, when you're having a down year like you are this year, make sure you stay up in the Premier League, make your good signings, reload, get a new team going for next year.
Yeah, I think right now, all what we are praying is to stay. Then if you look at how the Paris Saint-Germain was declared as the winners of the French League 1, if we are going by that margin, I think West Ham will be relegated. The goal margin, everyone is talking about it. And our co-owner, Bradley, everyone knows that now he's now the mouth of legacy. He's just talking every day and now they should make the league null and void. But it's not like we are afraid of playing behind closed doors. But sometimes the fans determine your joy of playing in the field of play. But at the moment, what we are all praying for is every Premier League player, team is praying to stay in the league, especially those that are in the relegation. We, Watford, Aston Villa, they are all trying to make a way out so that they can stay in the league. And we are not different. But if you look at things, one of London side, we are. I always say this, but people don't want to believe it. I think in my heart, we are one of the pride of London, and then I wouldn't be happy if we go back to relegation and then go and start things. And sometimes when we go to relegation, some of these big players will hand in transfer requests. I don't think we can be in relegation and we can handle the likes of Fornals, we can handle the likes of Hala, the likes of a lot of players that we can't handle because they will be looking to play first team the Premier League back. We are just praying that things go well and maybe Moyes can rescue because he has done it. He has done it before, as I said earlier on. He did it last season. Before he left. Then this season he's brought back to do a rescue mission for us.
And so, what do you think about is the future for Declan Rice? He seems to be a guy that's in the news a lot lately.
I think Rice, for now, I always say it. We can't continue to keep Rice. Things will change because Rice at the moment, if you look at his his stats against his colleagues, he's on top. If we also look at his stats against not only his colleagues but against those that are those eight that are above him, but still he can still stand with them. He's one of the best midfielder you can think of in the Premier League. Aggressive. Let me say he's always on the page, handling balls good, and then maybe passes. And then right now, Man United and then Chelsea are on our necks. But I was thinking, we are a club that can just keep such players. This is a time to do money business. If we sell him, but we should replace him with a good, replacement. If we look at, we brought in Jack Wilshere, not a player likened to him, but we brought in Jack Wilshere to pack in the midfield. Jack Wilshere this season has just played just like a match or so. We went and brought in Silver Prague midfielder, Thomas Sosek. If you look at, he just plays some few matches, but we are looking at him getting a permanent deal. He's still alone, but this is a player that can fill in the space if we give him the permanent deal. But I don't think after this season we have that financial muscles to handle Rice. It's either we increase his pay close to 150, going to 200 if we can make him stay. And that money, I don't think we'll pay in such money to Declan, though he's from our academy. But like this is a time for him to also show the world maybe how best he can play and then win the Premier League or maybe the Champions League one day.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part. Is that when you do have a player that you know that the club is ultimately going to end up selling, is to make sure that you maximize your value on that player, because that's ultimately how you can afford to go and rebuild your club and be able to make that competitive team that's going to finish in the top 8, is by taking that money and going and reinvesting it in new players and then hopefully being able to sell them off down the line. Right now with the situation of teams having to take pay cuts and things like that, it's not the best time to be selling players for maximum value. So I definitely think they would benefit on waiting a year at this point.
Yeah. If we look at right now, we are not all in normal times because the pandemic has escalated everyone's minds. We are waiting for the Premier League to return. It will be returning on closed doors. But players are taking pay cuts. Some other teams are still sitting with their players to see how they will negotiate for the pay cut. Rice, as we discussed earlier, look at Rice issue. To the national team, he's doing well. To the Premier League, he's doing well with us. And then he's now the talk of town. If you look at the midfield situations, the teams are on our necks. So, but like I know very well that next season, no matter how committed he is, but we can't handle him because things gonna change. Right now, everyone knows that players at his age are moving for more than 100 and something million pounds. Jordan Sancho buy clause today is on a rocket, like it's more than 100. He is now like 70 to 75 million pounds, and then it's a good money if we should take it. But if we are taking it, and then maybe we can get at least a player that is his caliber, or we can look at the academy side and promote a player that can come and learn. If we look at it, he didn't just start. He'll start learning from bench when Koyate was there. Then we all know, like, from him playing last 2 seasons when he got about almost all the matches, then that's where we know that there's something in him. So this is the time for us to make good money, but we shouldn't wait for him to want to leave, and then maybe we don't want, and then things will, like, sometimes when you have problem with player, sometimes you the club you lose at the end of the day. Maybe he will be there waiting for maybe free transfer to come, and then he'll go, and then maybe we will not like that. We just have to get the money and then reinvest back to the club, as you said.
So now, when I look at a club like West Ham, one of the questions that I have is, so like every team kind of has a goal for where they think that their club should be. Like, for instance, I support Accrington Stanley, and a lot of us look at the size of Accrington Stanley as a club and say, you know what, if we could be a top table or upper mid-table League One team every year, that's not bad for Accrington Stanley, and I think that's kind of a short-term achievable goal for the team. For West Ham, what would you say is the outlook for the team? Would you, as a fan base, for instance, be happy if West Ham was competing for a spot in the Europa League year in and year out? Would that be a short-term goal for the club, perhaps?
Yeah. For West Ham, I think the European spot is our mission. The Europa, if you look at it, we came close to it the other time, and then we lost it. And then it was like, that is where we're supposed to be. Because we have the financial position to play Europe. Precisely not the Champions League, but maybe the Europa League, we can play it. This is a club that is having one of a big stadium in England. If you look at our stadium site, no less than 60,000 capacity. And if you look at the kind of players that we have, you can't say like we are not a European type of team that can compete in the name of England. Because other teams are there that if you go to maybe Germany or England, what's the name? Spain or Italy, you can see teams. Look at Atlanta. Atlanta is doing marvelously in the Champions League. Why? Because the coach and then the team, there was a teamwork and then things are moving on well. If we have a good coach, I'm not saying Moyes is not good, but if we have a coach that have the ability to stand with some of the European giants, I think Europa League can be a place that will always keep on playing next season. Like from next season going, we can start.
Well, I was going to say, what you were mentioning there actually kind of brings me to an interesting question. Is one of the things that we talk about a lot is how deep the Premier League is in terms of the strength of teams. Where do you feel that West Ham, as the roster sits right now, would finish if they played in a place like Italy or Spain? Do you think that West Ham would be a top 5 team in for instance, Serie A? Do you think they have that kind of talent?
If you look at Spain, I'm saying Spain for instance, we can't compete much, but we can compete for the first 10 position. For the first 5, we can't compete, but from the 6th going to 10, we can compete from the 9th, 8th, 7th, and thereabout. We can't just say like Deportivo Alaves. There are some things that we can also match. Like Alaves and Co. We can just say we are somehow better than them. If we go to Italy, if we look at there are teams that we are also better than them. So in all the European teams, I would just say maybe Germany will be somehow very difficult, because if you look at the German soccer, it's a bit difficult that people don't understand. They are having smaller teams, but their stadiums are not small. Because you see a team like Watford, and then the stadium is close to 45,000 capacity. And some of these fans, when they go to the stadium, and then you are the crowd is like this, things will not be well for you. So, but like I'm looking at Europe, we can compete Europe in England. But if you look at the other clubs, if we go to maybe Spain and then other league centers, European competition will be very difficult for us, but we can manage to be in the first 10 positions.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm looking here, and I'm just kind of going through some of the fixtures here, in West Ham, it certainly looks like when you play an upper-level team, like, say, a Manchester City, for instance, you're going to struggle with a match like that. But it looks like, when you play a team like Watford or a team like Norwich City, that West Ham is generally at least beating those teams that they should beat. And I think that's kind of the first step for any team, is to at least consistently beat the teams that they should beat.
Yeah, we are so to play Man City, who everyone knows that they are league contenders. Though we know Liverpool have just won the league in a grand style, because if they just win some 1 or 2 matches, they'll be crowned champions. And Man City will still like to accumulate points. We have some tough matches are still coming on. But as you said, the Norwich and then the Watford, then the Brighton and then the other teams are teams that will look at where we can get the maximum 3 points. Man City, if we go and get a point, it won't be bad because everybody know that we are in a competition with them. So we were looking at some of the lesser clubs. That is where our focus will be, getting the 3 points, accumulate them, and if we are losing, but we know we are losing to one of these big teams, and then we can also accumulate the points from the top bottom teams and make ourselves way to the next season.
Yeah, I mean, I think that with Man City, like you said, that anytime anybody goes in there, making a point these days, it's been a good day. But, we've talked a lot about the current team, but like you said, you've been supporting for 10 years. So I wanted to kind of, before we finish up here, I wanted to kind of turn and talk about the past a little bit. And give us some of your favorite seasons from the past 10 seasons since you started following it. Maybe you have one year that sticks out to you that's your favorite.
Yeah, my favorite season was when we have a couple of players that we had a good season when Anatovic was there. Though if you look at the past season before Anatovic left, it was a good season for us because he was scoring goals. But I wanted to choose a season. We didn't finish well. We had season that we finished on 11th, and then, but this season were the season that we know we would have been going back to relegation, and then we escaped the relegation, the 2008-2009 season. I always choose it because if you look at the kind of miracle Moyes came and did, it was like your breath was going down, so they were cutting your breath, and then you regain your breath. Then this is a time you have to rest it back. But the other seasons, we can end at 11, we can end at 15, But this is a season we're going back to where we went back and things were very bad. So I always take the 2018-2000 season very, very good. They're very, very favorite because this was a season we were going back to where we didn't want it to go. And then at that time, Anatovic and Co was on form. So I always say my best season, though we had good seasons over, but my best season that as a West Ham fan was 2018-2019 because the teasing around back centers when I'll go and sit down at a place and they'll say, you are going to relegation. Why are you still coming here to watch West Ham play? But like I have to have the courage and then know very well that why we are going down. Because that time Sylvain Belek had returned us from, was it 11th to 13th position that we just in earlier on the 2017-2018 season. But here by the case, a favorite coach that is thinking us, where can we get a rescue? So and Moyes came in and things went well, and then we escaped relegation. I think the 2018-2019 season isn't bad for me.
Well, that's awesome. And I think everybody, there's certain seasons that are kind of important in the history books, but then there's other seasons that everybody has that season where they just have their favorite memories of that. And that's what makes sports such a unique experience for every person. It's their way of, what their experience was of watching those games and what was important to them. And so, to actually kind of come back to current times a little bit, I had a couple more questions that I wanted to ask you here that were kind of theoretical questions, and one of those was, let's say that West Ham had an unlimited budget and could sign any player in the world. Who would you have them sign?
Wow, this is a tough question, but we all know that currently we are in the Ronaldo
current player.
Currently we are in the Ronaldo Messi well. We are looking at a budget, any budget, or are we talking of?
Any money doesn't matter. Just any player that you can have. I mean, it's a tough question, but I think it comes down to every team is going to be a little bit different because it's, what position do you need the most maybe, and then, what player can have an impact the most, how do you pick between like Mbappe or Virgil van Dijk, for instance?
Okay, I would just currently we're in a bad situation, but there are some players that if I look at too, the Ronaldo, like if Ronaldo comes to West Ham, he has done it before in England. I think we can have this is the time that Noble can feed him well, and then he's a goal machine. We need the goals now, so. I think if we get Ronaldo to West Ham United, things will be very okay for me.
All right, and then the other question I wanted to ask you was kind of similar, and it was if you could pick any manager in the world to manage West Ham, who would you pick?
I'll go for. Let me see. Because I have a lot of managers. Because Man City is already having Pep Guardiola, who is my favorite. So we're just going for Pep Guardiola, and then maybe things will change. Well, Pep is my best now because I'm a Ferguson coach, but I'm looking at the current system. What the current system, I think Pep Guardiola is what I'll take.
Yeah, I mean, I think when a manager creates a system that tells you kind of that they can coach anywhere, because sometimes a guy will just have good players and it's the players, but when a guy can go from place to place to place and have success, that's when you know that his system is working.
Yeah, his system is working. If you look at from here to Bayern, from Bayern to the Premier League, he came in his way, he won the Premier League. So things are working for him. Yes, that everybody know that now they are just crying for Champions League. If not because of the Champions League, there's no any trophy in England that they haven't won. So he's a coach that I think he's having a certain system. Look at Raheem Sterling. He has transformed Raheem Sterling to one of the world-class players that we can think of. So he's a good coach.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good coaches out there that it's hard when you throw these questions out there. But I just thought it would be fun to kind of ask you some of these and see who.
It's true.
It's always kind of.
No, sometimes it's good to twist. When you twist, the conversation become convenient again. So it's good. I'm okay.
What things did you have that you wanted to talk about that maybe I hadn't asked you about?
Yeah, you've asked me about the fan base, but I wanted you to ask me about how we are getting West Ham staffs here. That is what I've been preaching always. Our system down here is a quite Man U, Chelsea, and then Arsenal staff. Getting our kits and then some West Ham hats, things that I guess West Ham staff is a very bit difficult here, because here you can't shop sometimes from outside the country, because we are not having that system of credit card and stuff. So you have some favorite thing you want to buy from West Ham, but you can't get it. So sometimes we rely on friends that are donating. Somebody will just say, okay, they are seeing you on Twitter. Take this sports kit. Take this West Ham stuff. This is what we are relying on now. The West Ham staff are not mostly in our market. That is always my worry. So if like we are having some West Ham staff here, maybe just go to the market and see like this is West Ham stuff, and then you can buy. I think that would make me more happy. I'm always happy, but when season are coming, where am I going to get this? Where am I going to get this? So it has to be in a dilemma form before somebody gets come to a rescue.
So it's difficult for folks to even get West Ham stuff in Ghana, and you're saying that a lot of people don't have a credit card to be able to just go online and order a shirt or something like that.
Yeah.
And we all know how important that is, especially for kids, just to have something like a West Ham shirt or a West Ham hat. If they're 8 or 10 years old, then they become a fan for life and wear that shirt every day.
Yeah, because for me, I think I'm a bit lucky because I'm very active on Twitter. I've been meeting a lot of West Ham fans. People are donating shirts sometimes. Sometimes I can just say this and this and this, and somebody will say, okay, I'm shipping a shirt for you. So like I won't be very 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 very, very let me say I won't twist it, but for the past season, even if I'll get it late, but I've been getting a gift from few West Ham fans that are on Twitter. They have been supporting me because they have been seeing my work. They're looking at being in this kind of part of Well and then West Ham. This is unbelievable. So I have a couple of friends that are helping me always. They'll just send it maybe after the season or starting of the season. They can give me last season 10 in a new season or ending of the season, then I can get it. I think I'm a bit lucky, but I'm looking at my other fans, mates that are not getting it. So that's my problem.
Well, that's great that you're getting those donations from people sending stuff to you, and that's I just love hearing about how fans work together to help each other support clubs around the world.
Yeah, that is a global. Sports brings people together. Irrespective of your location, your religious background, your color. It's a sport that are uniting us. And then when you create that convenient environment, you can be in Bangladesh and somebody can be in England, and then there's a communication because you all support one cause. And this is a time when somebody want to share. People are there, they're having this shirt, plenty of them. Maybe they want to give it out, but they don't know who might have need it. So, but sports is something that are connecting us individually, and then I think I'm a lucky guy because I'm not lacking West Ham's shirts because I'm having close to 7 or 8 of them in a different form. And then these are things that motivate me, especially when I go inside my room. When I go inside my room and I look at my left and then I see one, and I look at my right and I see one, I know that this is the West Ham room I want. This is the West Ham room I want to create. So for me, I want to eat West Ham. I want to speak West Ham. I want to sleep with West Ham. I just want West Ham to just be my daily activities because I've now been referred to Mr. West Ham in Ghana here. Sometimes you are going around, somebody will know your name, but he will not mention your name. Just say West Ham. That's what they call me sometimes. So it's funny, but I like it that way.
I think that's amazing, and I'm going to call you West Ham from now on because I like that too, and so you sound like as big a fan as me because I'm going to change my name to Stanley Accrington, so you can call me Stan. So and you said you had 7 or 8 shirts. I think I have 6 Accrington shirts. So you have me beat.
Wow. Yeah, like kudos to Subor. Let me acknowledge him here. He's doing fantastic work, as I told you. He's somebody who like our ideas are the same. When he was talking to me about Stanley accounting, I said, yes, Subor, this is a good space for you. It doesn't matter. Once you have people that are around that are also having the same support, you can be with it. And then I think we're not diverting, but we are all part of the Stanley accounting because we sometimes when he created the group, we look at it, we look at it's in the tweet and then we likes. He's doing well, and then I must always congratulate Subor for his hard work because it's not been easy. If you look at he has a load of works, being on the radio, being a teacher, and then other stuff, as you interviewed him earlier on, and then he's doing all these things together. He's been one of the person that is motivating other people to do more. So it's not only me that is on the West Ham staff. Svorto is doing well with the acronym.
Yeah, he is. He's an incredible guy, and he's such a great friend, and I love doing the Accrington Ghana stuff. And if you haven't been to the website, GhanaFootballNews.com before, it's our partner website, and great stuff out there, fantastic articles out there, and like you said, you do all the West Ham stuff out there. And then one of the things I wanted to kind of go back to that you were talking about earlier is how soccer it really is a global language, and how
Yeah.
I could be sitting here in Arizona, and you could be sitting here in Ghana, and we could just call each other up for an hour and talk about football and both be talking about the same thing. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Phil. As I'm here, I talk a lot about West Ham because sometimes I call in fan zone on they call in, but I also call in for West Ham. I go on radio with my West Ham shirt. I go on TV with my West Ham shirt. If you look at on my tweet, you'll be looking at things. At least 60% of my tweets are West Ham related stuff. So I just decided to distance myself to West Ham because the club has space in my heart a lot, and I don't want to lose it. It's just like that is my sweetest wife ever I ever meet. So and things are normal for me with West Ham. I don't want to carry any other big clubs in my head. Chelsea, Manchester, no, come on. My West Ham is my West Ham. And then the society have now recognized me as West Ham. So Mr. West Ham, wherever Mr. West Ham, Mr. West Ham, I'm okay.
I love your passion for the game. Your passion for the game is just incredible, and your passion for West Ham. I mean, I in the Premier League, I root for Arsenal, and your passion makes me want to go out and like West Ham. I mean, I'm still going to root for Arsenal, but
No, this is we are neighbors, so
yeah,
north and east. So
hey, as long as we both beat the Spurs, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah. Spurs is always our dustbin because I can remember. You see how funny things happen when we beat Spurs last season on their new stadium. Do you know what happened? That day I was watching the match with a Spurs fan. At that time they have not lost a single match in their new stadium. So we were watching, and then he was just telling me that for we there, we're visiting them. We are their wives. They will just go give us some 4 lashes and we'll go away. So when Antonio scored that goal and then he was jumping like somebody who is riding a horse, I said, "Come on!" The guy couldn't talk again. So we after the match, I said, "Okay, for all you remember, this stadium will go down in history as the first team to beat you on your new stadium is which team?" He's West Ham. I said, "Okay, I'm done."
It's always better when you're watching with somebody that's a fan of the other team, and then when you can hand them the first loss in the new stadium, that's even better,
Because this will be a history to go down in history because the day like we scored them, they know that the first match they lost in the stadium was against West Ham. Period. That is all. Chapters closed. Now they can't talk about us anymore. If they want to talk about us, we'll refer them back to what Antonio did to them last season.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes football, like I was talking about earlier, how it's a universal language. But the other thing is, you could go and watch a game and be friends of a rival team and still be friends afterwards, and they give each other a hard time, and that's a part of the fun of it.
Yeah, if you look at it here, one is football is really one of the biggest. Though we have the other Premier Leagues in Ghana here that we are playing, our Kotoko, our Haas, our Idubiasi, then the Brekum Chelsea. But when the Barclays Premier League resume, I tell you, like our love for foreign football is too much because almost all the pub bars, we have football centers, we go there, you guys go and sometimes pay for a gate fee and then enter and watch. But people have the passion to go and watch it sometimes than our own league matches, which is creating some kind of this, dislike and like. But the Premier League is one of the things that we adore matching in Ghana here. And then the fan bases for the other respective clubs are very, very increasing. Right now, we are having Aston Villa fans. Then we have Leeds United fans. I've seen them on Twitter. So, like, people are beginning to accept the other lesser clubs that are in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, football is something that we all love, or we wouldn't be here having a show about it right now. And it's something we've really missed during the break. And And so my last question for you here today before we wrap up is that we are getting a little bit of football back as we record this. We're right now it is 15 and a half hours until Bundesliga resumes. Are you going to be watching that tomorrow?
Yeah, because we've missed football a lot. And then the Bundesliga is the first European clubs to resume. I'm rooting in for Eintracht Frankfurt because of Haller. When we signed him from there, I like that team a lot. So I'm happy because tomorrow I'll be sitting closer to my TV set, and then I'm trying to watch. Because when you are watching the football match, it gives you, let me say, it gives some anxiety. Your spirit and everything of you that you are doing. Maybe if you are doing other things and you are watching the football match, the 2 hours of it gives you a lot of encouragement, it opens your minds and everything. So we've missed football. And then I know very well that this Bundesliga, they are going to get more people to watch it because that will be the first European club teams to start the league back in this pandemic era. So tomorrow I can't wait. I don't think I'll even be sleeping because I'll be looking at some stats for the tomorrow matches.
Yeah, it's really hard to explain how that 2 hours a week of being able to watch football just kind of makes all the other hours of the week so much better. But it's just, I'm not even somebody that regularly watches Bundesliga, but I'm going to be up at 6:30 a.m. my time to watch that tomorrow because I'm so excited. And
you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. We miss football. We miss this. Because sometimes I try playing FIFA I see those things are cartoons. So you try enjoying yourself with the TV, like you PS, then that kind of things, and then you look at it, at the end of the day, it's just this cartoons that you are playing. So, but when you are sitting in reality and you are watching your TV, this is Lewandowski, this is Sancho, this is this player, this is this player. At the end of the day, the passion that you missed, will be back. So I know the world can't wait. We are just hoping that it should come smooth. We shouldn't record any cases, or maybe after matches we shouldn't record maybe body contacts that will come, and then maybe we'll hear bad news. We're just hoping that we have good news and then the Bundesliga can continue so that the English league also will come. Then with the Serie A, then we'll have a time to watch all these matches together.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that you make a great point, and it's a great way for us to wrap up here today, is that I think that is the most important thing, is that as we are in a time that has been like no other, and we face challenges like we haven't been before, that we do things properly around the world and take all things into consideration, and then bring it back in a way so that we can all watch football in a safe way and be able to enjoy it and have it be that 2 hours a week that, just really makes our lives better. And it gives us something that we can be passionate about, to be in a way that, there's not many things that in the world that you can be as passionate about as football. And that's what you were saying earlier. And you've just, you've made so many great points about why we love this game so much. And, I am so glad that we've finally gotten a chance to sit down and do this. And I hope that we can do it again. And I really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show today.
Thank you and I want to thank you for the good work you have been doing. I've been following your podcast. I listen to it as always. When I'm listening, I tell you that I'm listening. So I'm very happy for the opportunity given. And to all the West Ham fans, this is your brother, this is your mate, this is your friend, Abdul. Then you can just find me on Twitter, as he said. Then we'll get interactive. And then I know very well that things will turn for us. And then to all your listeners, I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
Well, Abdul, it's been a joy to talk to you today, and it's absolutely an honor to hear that you listen to the show. And like I've said before, it's one thing to have somebody come on the show, and it's certainly an honor to have you on the show as a guest. but it's much more of an honor to hear that you listen to the show and that you take the time out of your day and enjoy and appreciate the things that we talk about. And I can't wait to do it again. And thank you for your time today. And thank you for both listening to the show and helping spread the word on the show. Keep up all the good things here that you're doing with our buddy Subaru over at Ghana Football News. We love the website and the work you guys are doing over there.
Okay, thank you. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Have a great night.
Cheers. Thank you.